Hello guys, we're back with Demon Slayer again, and like every time, I'm having some more uncovered content from the series. We all are familiar with several moons like Lower Moon 1, Enmu, and Lower Moon 5, Rui, etc. But do you know about Upper Moon 1? Also, have you ever wondered whatever happened to the blue spider lily? Most of you might be thinking of it now, but there's no need. Just watch this whole video because now you'll realize that there were many things which you didn't realize. So let's go. Let's start with the question, what is the Upper Moon 1 like? Demon Slayer anime till now has revealed several of the moons, right? But let me tell you that there are still many which are yet to be revealed, especially the upper moons. Well, whoever it will be, Tanjiro will have some really bad time with it, no doubt. Daki, Gyutaro, and Akaza were all brutal, but they look like third-grade plastic products in comparison. The Upper Moon 1 is going to be the toughest for Tanjiro to get face-to-face with, of course, until the Demon King itself comes into the ring. Oof, I literally got goosebumps. It's really gonna be a boom. I decided to mention this later, but I think I couldn't resist myself, so let me just go with it. It sometimes randomly comes to my mind that why Nezuko did not regain consciousness. Like, is she gonna live like this forever? Like, half demon and half human? Nezuko aided Tanjiro multiple times throughout the whole journey, which shows that she is not like other demons. She's a unique demon, which never attacks humans. It also shows that she did not gain her consciousness yet and didn't speak properly and behaves childish like other demons who know about their actions and have little glimpses of their past life. So it really makes me curious regarding it that will she ever gain her consciousness back or there may be any relation to it? One more thing related to Nezuko that I genuinely want to know, and that is, how did Zenitsu and Nezuko end up together? Zenitsu is one topic that comes up frequently in discussions among Demon Slayer fans. Despite being cocky and cowardly and kind of loud, brash, and irritating, Zenitsu is popular for the positive qualities that he does possess, which he showed in the end. But the question remains though, why does Nezuko like him? We all know that Zenitsu is clearly in love with Nezuko just because of her beauty and innocence, but simply, we could say he was attracted by her looks. But what does Nezuko appreciate about Zenitsu once he turns human? Even everyone is aware of his deceptive strength, but still, anyways, he might get a solid answer someday or in Season 3. But for now, let's talk about Tanjiro Black Nichiren Sword. So if you guys don't know, the Nichiren sword changes its color depending on who is holding it, but in the whole series, it was only the sword of Tanjiro which was in pitch black color, which once Daki had also pointed out that it is a super rare thing to see, and in the series also, it didn't give any sort of information regarding this, but I strongly believe that this does hold any significance, which we might see in the next season. I actually have a few more about Tanjiro. Like, we know since the beginning that the scar on his head in the starting is pretty similar to the scar his father had, right? But that scar in the case of Tanjiro did not remain as it was in the start. We see that as he started hunting the demons, the scar slowly turned into a mark. Now, this buds the question in viewers' minds that why is it so? It is still unknown why the mark appeared, and there seems a strong possibility of having a major importance in the whole game, which we might witness in the upcoming season. Anyways, who knows of it, but let's move on to the question which I asked you in the beginning of the video. That's the blue spider lily. We all know how Muzan sought for the blue spider lily in hopes of developing an immunity to the sun's effects, right? And you could say that it was the most important thing in the story because that was to his ultimate objective and backstory, right? But all of its significance gets lost when Nezuko suddenly gains the ability to walk in the sun. We are well aware that the plot would naturally gravitate towards the easier of the two possibilities, but that doesn't make the narrative's decision to leave the Blue Spider Lily plotline unresolved any less problematic. Talking about Tamayo's occupation, it would have been simple to incorporate it into her storyline. Don't you think that? From the starting of the anime, the one thing can come to mind of every Demon Slayer fan is, why did Muzan attack the Kamado household? It's true that Muzan killing the Kamado family was the triggering act that put Demon Slayer into motion. But anime viewers don't know why the Demon King Muzan Kibutsuji did this at all. It's doubtful that the Kamado family had personally harmed him or owed him an outstanding debt. For example, we know that demons murder and devour people to live, but Demon King Muzan is a rare case, and it's impossible to imagine him massacring the Kamados of all families simply for a midnight snack. Surely there's a more important reason the Demon King dispatched Tanjiro's family. We talked about the anime watchers, but this question also comes to mind of manga readers. What happened to all the demons? Did all the other demons just disappear? So what precisely happened to all the rest of the demons after Muzan was defeated at the conclusion of the Infinity Castle arc? If they were traditional vampires, it might make a touch more sense. However, even then, vampires have more mystique when it comes to their blood relations. Demons acquire their strength from Muzan's blood when it merged with their body, and they make it their own, which is where all the various blood demon arts originate from. So why would they crumble to dust after Muzan was gone? In the series, we all know that Muzan wants Tanjiro dead anyhow, but what's the passion of Muzan to assassinate Tanjiro? However, this is incredibly intriguing since Tanjiro is not even a Hashira and saw him just one time. But in a flashback of his past, we got to know that there is one demon slayer who almost got close to killing and murdering Muzan, and even Muzan still fears him. And the demon slayer also wears the same Hanafuda earrings, which have been donned by Tanjiro today. So I'm interested to see about the demon slayer who got so near to destroying that 1,000-year-old monster. Most of the anime fans wanted to know, will Tanjiro become a Hashira? Tanjiro is now an official member of the Demon Slayer Corps. Although he and his buddies are all rated poorly, despite their efforts, if he continues this up, Tanjiro just may replace one of the slain Hashira in time for the last fight against Muzan, and I believe he surely deserves it. Let me know what your opinions about this are. Why Zenitsu has a sparrow? While every other Demon Slayer has a crow, this is a small topic, but yet some Demon Slayer fans demand answers. But to be totally honest, neither Zenitsu nor Tanjiro could explain this, and to this day, anime fans don't really know either. It's possible that this small bird is indicative of Zenitsu's personality or character journey, or whether it's genuinely simply a simple humor and nothing more. We all know that Inosuke was raised not by his family, but the question that comes to mind is, why did Inosuke's family abandon him? Inosuke was raised not by his family, but by wild creatures, which led to Inosuke gaining ultra-sharp reflexes and his unique beast-breathing combat technique. That clearly puts Inosuke different from other demon slayers, but surely there is more to it than that. Now that the series is ending, all questions have to be addressed. There are still a lot of loose ends when it comes to Nezuko Kamado. Nezuko is the sole reason Tanjiro joins the Demon Slayers, since the girl was personally converted into a demon by Muzan. But fans never understood why Nezuko could adjust the size of her body, what the downsides of her demon form was, or why she was able to walk in the sunlight with no concerns. Till now, we just got to know that there is a master of Demon Slayer Corps who is extremely respected among them, and even Hashira bows to him. But there is nothing further said about him and his family in the series, as Tanjiro saw that master is unwell, but was also claiming influence in his speech, by which Tanjiro feels relaxed. It is truly going to be intriguing to discover about him and his family's past, and under what are the situations which forces him to murder Muzan. And lastly, now that the tale is concluded and the camera has changed to the following generation, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure style, what happened to the Demon Slayer Corps? Obviously, one would suppose they dissolved, but this was a countrywide operation that included satellite residences, complicated communication systems, and a well-thought-out system of ranks and chain of command. Don't you guys think it would be a waste to simply toss it all away now that the demons are gone? So put those resources to work someplace else. The most apparent approach would be to employ Demon Slayer tactics to train peacekeepers or soldiers, and readers saw that with Gyu and Shinaguzawa. But regrettably, they never found out what happened to the legendary Ubuyashiki family. Well, what do you think about it? Let me know in the comments, and if you have any more questions to add, you're welcome to do so.